Hi. Just covering myself up in case this camera drops lower, and I don't want you to have to be in a position where you're trying to keep your eyes off of my foof. So, welcome. Hi. Hi, Natalia. Hi, Glow Jersey. I'm not sure what your name is, but hello. Hey, Joe. Hey, Jerry. Smoothie-tastic. Look, I even washed my hair for you. I know. You're welcome. So I'd love to know who is here, because I randomly popped up and they were like, oh, okay, we'll go and see what Nolly has to say. And who's here because you specifically saw the title and went, yes, I need to know about this and why. Tell me the things. Let's chat and then we'll get into the meat of the discussion. Tell me the things, people. Tell me the things. Hey, Dan. Joe just jumped on to see your face. Well, here it is. You almost got to see more than my face, because when I sit cross-legged like this, my dress is very short. To kind of tuck the longer bit up just in case people's cameras see different things. This is not OnlyFans, people. Maybe I should start a spiritual OnlyFans page where I go on and do lives, but, you know, occasionally you get a sneaky peek of my foof. So, what do I want to say? I feel like I've had so many different, so much inspiration, so many different messages that I've wanted to come through today. And this morning it felt very important to speak to you about this role of duality, these, oh, good, Natalia. Amazing. It's good to have you. Yeah, I've had many things dropping in since I put the title of this live stream on my stories earlier. Hands up who'd pay for that. Amazing, Joe. Maybe. Let's see. If coaching goes to shit, then maybe. For now, I'll stick here, but you know, I like the idea of teasing you. Oh dear. Okay, come on, Georgina, focus. I just feel all playful and giddy. Whee! So let's just let that be what we bring to the table today. So, when it comes to moving into like a different phase of business, and you know, very often for entrepreneurs, this will come with like, I want to raise my prices. I want to create offerings a different way. I've been in business for a few years and I've seen the transformation. These are things I hear a lot. These are things that I've said a lot myself. You know, like I see the transformation that I offer to people. I see, you know, even for artists, it's like, I've been doing this a long time and I've done all these courses and I've done this and I've done that and I'm selling all this artwork, and there's just a part of me that feels like it's time to move into the next evolution. It's time to step up and in, you know, drop deeper into what I know is next for me. And then for some reason, and trust me, I've done this in the past myself, which is why I know I can speak to it with authority, is we go, yes, great. I know exactly what I'm offering. I know exactly what the pricing is. I know exactly what I'm creating. Let's go put it out into the world. And then all of the old stories come up. And pretty much the only difference between the people who go, I'm going to price my offering here, I'm going to price my artwork here, I'm going to pivot my business. It might not even be pricing, you might just be pivoting your business in a different direction, starting to talk about new things that feel more aligned for you. You might be moving out of like, for example, when I moved more out of like just being pure EFT and I started wanting to do more coaching, working with entrepreneurs, I wanted to bring my NLP and my like all the other crazy galactic energy shit that I do. Like I wanted to bring everything together. And I'd been so focused on helping people with bereavement, trauma, depression, anxiety, that going from that to then just kind of focusing in on people who had businesses felt like a really big shift back in the day. Like now I'm like, it's nothing. It's a pivot. I change what I do all the time. I evolve what I do all the time. And I don't even think about it. I just naturally follow my alignment. I naturally follow what my throat wants to speak about. And I just let that energy guide me. And then I continually evolve without even really having to think about what I'm selling or how I'm selling, because I just do it now. I'm just so practiced, and I'm in such deep trust with the way that I speak and the people that find my message. And that has always been interesting to me, how people who, you know, had EFT with me when I first started out, how they might fade away, but then I'll be talking about something completely different, using a whole new plethora of modalities and speaking about like really esoteric and like, you know, what some people might call out there concepts. And then they'll find their way back into my world, and then they'll end up working with me again. You know, so it's such an interesting thing that happens, these waves of people coming in, people, you know, going and finding other people to work with, or just doing other things, taking a break, and then how the people will naturally kind of come back eventually. Like, it's so cyclical. And we get so caught sometimes in thinking that we have to hold on to all the people that we're currently working with or we have worked with, that we keep ourselves. And I'm going to be really honest, when you do that, you also keep your clients stuck. I've been on the receiving end of, you know, coaches who want, like, kind of wanted to sell me into the same thing over and over again. And I'm like, no, I feel like I need to evolve now. And so for me, I've just kind of inherently always understood that in order for me to create space, not just to receive new clients, but to continue to expand, because the clients that may have fallen away or, you know, become like, this message doesn't really resonate with me, and they kind of resonate with something else for a while, that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with you. Honestly, in the last year, the amount of people, like, my message has changed. If you were to go back to like 3 years ago, my message, although like the core of it is all about being yourself, being expressed, charging what the fuck you want, creating what the fuck you want, the energy, the person I am, the essence of me is so much more amplified, so much more like dialed in and dialed up and like bam than it used to be. It's so much more grounded, but somehow more radiant, more amplified, because I'm always tuning in deeper to the essence of me. And because of that, yes, people may drift away, but honestly, in the last year, the amount of people who have come back, who have cycled back in, and the amount of new people that have come into my world. So it's really never about what do I say, or what do I create, what do I sell, how do I speak, how do I show up, who do I need to be for the people who are currently watching. It's all about you. It's all about, where are you right now? What is exciting for you to talk about? What is exciting for you to create right now? Because as soon as you fall into the trap of trying to create something for somebody, and you'll fuck yourself over. And the most practical way, I mean, this has happened. When I look back now, I'm like, wow, I had an understanding of this like a long time ago, because I had very real time reflections of this. And so this is the equivalent, keeping your pricing, keeping your creations, keeping your offerings where they are right now, because you think that's what people want to buy from you, right? Because that's what people have bought from you in the past. Thinking that you have to keep recreating for the same people in the same way over and over again is discounting the fact that they wish to expand and evolve as well, you know? So if you just keep doing the same thing and you're doing it for someone else, nobody really wins. Because when I create something new, like when I put the business covenant out at its new price point with its new branding, its whole new motherfucking vibe, and this it's like up-leveled as fuck, and I'm really excited for what I'm going to be like, what we're going to be unlocking in there, because the codes are immense. But for me, I know that putting that out there, whenever I put an offering out there, this is a mindset you can adapt right now if you want to, and try it on for size and see how it feels. The mindset and the energy that I feel in my body when I'm thinking about creating something new, putting my prices up, pivoting my message, I just drop into my body and I'm like, people have been fucking waiting. There are people out there who've been watching you and they've been like chomping at the bit to fucking work with you in this way. Right? So whether it's a different price that kind of catches the eye of different people you elevate your frequency because you know you're charging a certain amount because of where you are in your own vibration, and that's what's aligned for you to charge. And then it's about holding that and being there and trusting yourself that this is what the offering is valued at. This is where it's going to continue to be valued. And I keep showing up and I keep selling and I keep feeling into it and I keep being the embodiment of what I desire to call in for that offering. And this is transferable. This doesn't just have to be for coaches and healers. This is for people who, I know I have a lot of creators, a lot of people who are primarily artists in my audience and who follow me online. So if that is you, you can transfer this mindset and this way of looking at energetics around sales and creativity. You can transfer that to your business. The concepts are the same. So it's so interesting to me how these waves occur where people kind of dip in and dip out. And if you're continually looking backwards over your shoulder at how you used to work with people and what you used to create in order to kind of feel like you have to hold on, all you're doing is it feels so gross. When I think about it, I'm like, it feels disgusting. So you've got to remember, what you want wants you. What you are manifesting is manifesting you. There is somebody out there right now who is manifesting exactly what you want to fucking sell. Right? It's that simple. Like, it's really that simple. And yet we forget that all the time. And I'm continually reminding my clients of this as well. Because when we start to elevate to a frequency where we are genuine, and this is genuinely aligned with having a higher price point, a different way of speaking, creating offerings in a different way, creating different artwork or products, when you are genuinely allowing the alignment to be your guiding light, when you're genuinely allowing, like, fucking hell, the transformation or the impact that my work has on people's lives is fucking massive. And when you really let that land in your body, a lot of people don't really want it to land. They don't really want to feel it, because what happens is then you start to notice the incongruence. You start to notice all the years that you've been doubting and talking yourself down and keeping yourself in, like a smaller conversation. When you give yourself the opportunity to really see what you want and know what you want, not just know, but know in your body. When that knowing, that longing, that desire comes from inside of you, from an embodied, integrated place, and it's like, this is your next step, bitch. You can't ignore that. And if you do, it is self-betrayal. If you do, you are abandoning yourself. And then what happens is it's like you split yourself off. You unlock yourself and you become no longer tapped into your own desire, your own inner magnetism, what's going to draw life to you. You cut yourself off because you're afraid of your own desires. You're afraid they're going to get you into trouble. You're afraid that if you follow and trust that desire and nurture it and let that be the guiding energy in your life, because you've never done it, because you got told that you get what you get, or I once don't get, all these bullshit programs we picked up from childhood, yeah? When you really allow yourself to be in the embodiment of what you truly want, the world cannot ignore that. You, particularly a woman, in their fucking desire, feeling it in their body, being like so fucking almost like aroused and turned on by their own life, their own business. Like, isn't that what we want? Don't we want to wake up in the morning and be like, fuck, I get to talk about this. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm like, fuck, I get to talk about this today. I get to go live and like talk to people about this. I get to own my space online and fully show myself for who I am. I get to fucking sell whatever I want. I get to sell whatever I want. How fucking cool is that? I can create and sell whatever I want. This is my fucking business. Whoa. And yet we are still on some level, right? Until you get to that point of like being like, fuck, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Oh, but you're selling something that's this price, so you can't sell something that's lower end. Why the fuck not? Oh, well, your prices seem to be around here, so to then put your prices to here, that's a bit of a jump, isn't it? Maybe. And how fucking exciting is that? How fucking exciting is that? Like, why are you holding yourself from feeling joy? Why are you like holding yourself back from being fully ignited in your passion and your zest for life? If you are going to run a business, and this is like hashtag Nolly Real Talk, if you are going to be in business for the long haul, let's put it this way. The business coven, for example, is not an offering for someone who's like, oh, my business is my side bitch. No. If your business is your side bitch, that's great. That I understand that for some people, that is what they actually desire. It's something that gives them a little bit of extra juice on the side, right? Great. That's not what the business coven is for. The business coven, and I, is for people like me, right? At the beginning of my journey, this is just, I didn't plan to share this today, but this is just like pinging in, so let's go. At the beginning of my journey, I left my full-time job, began dog walking part-time. I'm sure a lot of you know this. I dog walked part-time, like in the mornings, and then I did just a couple of more, like 3 days a week, and then I went down to like 1 or 2 days a week. And at the beginning of my business, I already fucking knew it was going to be big. I had no experience of running a business. We're talking like 7-8 years ago. I had no experience of running a business. I'd been in arts administration and events organising, right? That's where I came from. And before that, finance and all other places. So, but for the 10 years before I started my business and like trained to be a counsellor and EFT practitioner and NLP and all the fucking things that I've studied over the years since then. But I was working in arts administration and events planning for 10 fucking years before I jumped into running my EFT business, which has now evolved into what you see in front of you right now. I decided I wanted a website. So I got myself a little, cheeky little clunky website that was super fucking basic, but it did the job. And then a friend came along and said, let me redesign that for you and I'll do it for free because I just really want to support you. What you do is amazing. I'm like, okay, wicked, let's go. So he started doing that for me. And then as I started to see the website evolve, I was like, ooh, I'm no longer in alignment. I'm upgrading. And there are certain parts of what I'm doing, pricing, the amount of time on my calendar, and the way that I'm showing up, and this is a big part, how I'm seeing myself in my business, doesn't align with this new up-level brand. So I was like, fuck. This is years ago, by the way. This website has been gone for years. I've had many iterations since then, and it's going through another upgrade. So I'm very fresh in this process. I'm being like energetically sucked up into the new frequency of my brand, and it is like blowing my mind and it's blowing my fucking heart open in the best way, let me tell you. But what I'm noticing is that even back at the beginning of my business, I invested when I could see like, oh my God, I'm having a website, right? I'm fed up of dog walking. I really want to do this full time. Like I knew that dog walking was just like a part-time thing to help support me. At no point on my journey was my business a side hustle. It just wasn't. That's just not what it was for me. And I understand that everyone's journey is different. Some people, it starts as a side hustle and they're like, fuck, I really want to go all in on this. Fucking amazing. That's amazing. But what I'm saying to you is, for me, business has always been like, I'm a baby. My business has always been something that I am in relationship with in a way that, I was thinking about this in the shower today. I was like, I treat my business kind of like it's its own entity. Like it's, you know, and I think about, I do a lot of this work when I work with people around money as well. Like I'll say to them, if money was a person, like how would you talk to them? How would you feel about them? What needs to shift? How can we change that narrative? So I was in the shower this morning, and I mean, this is gold, so take this and fucking do it in the shower or not. Doesn't matter to me, but you know, if you're naked and wet, everything's better. That's going on a t-shirt. Hashtag merch. So I was in the shower and I had this moment of like, fuck, I need to like have a conversation with my business. And so I'm in the shower and I'm like, in my mind, I know, like saying this shit online, people will think I'm fucking crazy, but the right people will know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm like, if I'm going to be in this business for the long haul, this is how I started out, this is it. There was no plan B. There is no plan B. I do not have a plan B. I don't want a plan B. I've never wanted a plan B. And this is the difference I feel from people who really make shit work and people who constantly fall back and self-doubt and they let the fear win and they let all the other stuff win, because if you're really honest with yourself, is the way that you're showing up for your business and the lifestyle that you wish to create for yourself with that business, in relationship with that business, are you showing up for it like that? Or are you showing up for it like it's your side bitch or like it's your sugar daddy and it's just there to like fucking like pay your bills? Or are you in like a romance with your fucking business? Does your business feel like a fun person or a fun thing you want to hang out with? And let's get real here. How are you treating your business in terms of, if your business was a person and you were treating it the way you're treating it, would it want to hang out with you? Tell me. If your business was a person with the way that you are currently treating it, would it want to hang out with you? Or would it be like, oh, fuck this bitch again? She's always like fucking whipping me and saying, come on, make me money, or where are my new people, or you know, like what else are we meant to do? She's always fretting at me, she's always anxious at me, she's always angry at me or frustrated with me. Or do you spend time in like romance and foreplay and the fucking juiciness of the relationship that you get to have with your business? Tell me in the comments, like, how is that? How you experience your business is a reflection of how your business as a frequency is responding to you. You get me? Tell me the things. Talk to me. I know I'm very entertaining. You can just lean back and absorb all the things I'm saying, and that's fabulous, but let's have a conversation. Like, let's lock this in. Yeah, this is free content. Yeah, it's a free live stream, but those of you who know me and have been in my transmission will know, if you sit and you receive this and you engage with me, you're going to get so much fucking more. It's the love of your life. Great. But how is it responding? Like, how does it feel? How does your business feel about you when you say, oh, it's the love of my life? Do you treat it like that? Do you treat it like that? And if you do, what does that look like? Yeah, what does it look like for your business to be the love of your life? Because for me, it really is the greatest love affair of my life, you know? Like, when I really think about it, it might sound fucking weird, but yes, I'm not just saying like I only focus on my business and I don't connect with people. That's not what I'm saying. But it's like, in terms of, I'm in this for the long haul. I'm in relationship with my body, because that is going to be with me forever. And I am in relationship with my business because that is going to be with me forever. And who the fuck do we think we are, trying to shackle, confine, and starve our business of creativity? It wants to grow. Shit wants to grow. People want to grow, maybe at different rates, maybe in different ways. Maybe we have different, we've acclimatized to different levels of what growth and expansion we're happy to hold and experience. But when you really get down to the nitty gritty, you are going to be in relationship with your body, with money, with your business for the rest of your life, if that's what you choose for yourself. And if it feels like hard fucking work and you're always giving and it's never giving back, that feels shit. But it also feels shit, energetically. If you think of your business, like if you're in a romantic relationship, if I'm sitting there, like if I said to my boyfriend, I just want you to give me some money. And he was like, where did that come from? I could probably ask him for money if I really wanted it. Like, I suppose you got £20 that I could borrow. I imagine he'd say yes. He's very lovely and generous. But it's like, how are you romancing your business? How are you romancing your audience? Like, to me, all of this stuff is so fun because I'm not in my head about it. I let my body guide me. I let my body lead the way around what I create, how I price my offerings, how those offerings are structured. I let my body guide me around when I show up online, how I show up online, what I deliver, what I speak about. I let my body guide me to what is really juicy for me to actually offer, like in terms of when I'm speaking, what do I want to speak about? Let that come from within. I'm not sitting here going, well, at the moment I'm launching the business coven, so I better make sure that I speak about X, Y, and Z topics. Like boring. I want you to feel me. I want you to feel me in your body. Sauce. I want you to feel the juiciness of how it is to live in love with the life and the business that you are creating. Because that's really part of my transmission, because I do love it. And I had to have a word with myself the other day because there were things that I was getting all in my head about and getting frustrated about because I'm still fucking human. Like, I'm not a robot, as I keep reminding you and myself, right? And I have this drive to be the best. Fuck me, man. I have this drive to be the best. Not to be the best in the industry, not to be the best at any particular thing, but to be the best to me. I have this drive inside of me to be the best, and it's been there since the beginning. And sometimes it's really positive, and sometimes it leads me down a path of being so fucking hard on myself that I am like slicing myself with fucking razor blades internally because I can be so hard on myself, which is why I carry such a message of love and compassion for yourself as you're growing. Because I know how it feels to be so fucking driven that you want to be the best and you want it all now and you want it all yesterday, and why isn't it here yet? But I thought I was better than this. Why am I not doing so well as why am I not doing as well as I thought I could, or blah, 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 blah. And all of those stories can get so loud in our heads that we forget that if that's where we're operating from, that's what we're going to attract more of. That's what we're going to receive. That's the energy that's going to be present in our creations. Ain't no one wanting to pay for that shit. And if they do, I don't want to work with them. I want to work with people who are feeling like, fuck, yes, the juiciness of being in my energy. That's what I desire. I desire to work with those people who feel so lit the fuck up that maybe they're willing to take that leap. They're willing to take that risk because they're like, fuck, yes. When I'm around this woman, I can feel the fucking activation in my body and I am so ready to go. Let me have a look at your comments for a sec. Love waking up to your voice. Ah, thank you, Julie. Nice to have you here. Working on my relationship with my business now, loving up on it more and more. Love that. Love this framing. So writing is a romance, but how am I acting in this relationship? Interesting, she says. Yes, I'm lost in it, which is the beginning. So I need to move the relationship on. Yes. And so, Ness, that's really interesting. This idea of like being in the first throes of passion, with your business. Being in the everything's exciting, everything's scary, you've still got a safety net, maybe part-time, or maybe you've still got some other work, or you've got some savings or whatever, you know. So you're still in the throes of that like passion of the new business. You're still working each other out. It's all exciting and zingy. And that will fade. That will fade. It won't always be the first throes of passion with the business, but you can create that sensation with new offerings. You can create that sensation through allowing your body to continue to have that zing and move the relationship on. And that in itself is a form of duality, because it's how do you maintain, you know, I mean, again, you can take this anywhere. You can take it to your physical body and your relationship with that, or romantic relationships, or friendships, family relationships. Where have you gotten complacent in long-term relationships because you're like, oh, well, I just know that they're always going to be there. Like, where are you not nurturing or invested in yourself and how you show up for certain relationships? So if you can't do this in terms of, if it's hard for you to like tap into, okay, but my business isn't a person, like it's a business, you know, like if you're not like fully able to lock that in, take a look at the closest relationships in your life and you will see you are mirroring those behaviors in a long-term relationship with anything, with money, with your business, with your body. What does it take for you what do you need externally to be given to you in order for you to stay interested, to stay motivated, to stay tapped in and like feeling sexy? Are you still relying on external circumstances and other people to make you feel sexy, to make you feel desired, to make you feel desirable and wanted and lusted after? Or are you waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror and being like, bitch, you're fucking hot? Are you lusting after yourself, right? So all of it comes back to relationship with ourselves. All of it comes back to relationship for me. And, you know, for being compassionate and love. So you're saying like you need novelty. But I would look at that, because novelty is like kind of a heightened thing. So like, what comes next? What comes next? What's the next phase of development? And so for the business come, for example, this is really about taking what you have in your business. And I know from personal experience that continually rekindling and like stoking and fanning the flames of a business that's been running for a while, you've been through a lot. We've been through a lot. Me and my business have been through a lot. Oh my God. It makes me feel emotional even thinking about it. We have been through like debt that felt crippling. We have been through periods of time where, oh my God, going from like transitioning my business online all those years ago, and the fucking like the heartache, the fear, we can do this. The amount of times things have felt like they've crashed and burned and I've just fucking stuck with it, and I found a way to reconnect, to move myself back into like, what am I aligning with next? I have had phases where I have felt like fucking throwing in the towel more times than you can imagine. More times than you can imagine, and probably more recently than you would even dare to believe. And it is not an option for me, because in the long run, it's not what I want. I don't want to work for someone else. I also, you know, like I would love to win the lottery or have a massive amount of money land in my lap, like poof, without me having to do anything, like let's go. But I would still run my business. And there was a time where I wasn't sure that that was true. There was a time where I thought, actually, all I really want is to just make money. And it wasn't that I didn't love what I was doing, but there was just a time where I was like, I think I actually just want money. Like, that's all I really want right now. And when I got really honest about that, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not really enjoying what I'm doing in my business. Huh. So rekindling, reconnecting. The amount of women that come to me who've been running a business, like specifically women who've been running a business for a while, like full time, they'll come to me, and because they've been through ups and downs and highs and lows, you kind of reach this point in any relationship, I feel, where you get to choose. Am I going to access a deeper level of desire and connection in this relationship? Am I going to put the work in, like inner and outer, to bring this into alignment with what I really crave and desire and want to experience in my life? Or am I just going to let it go and move on and do something different? And the fact of the matter is, neither of those things are wrong. They're not. Neither of those things are wrong. Good. You're in the right place. But yeah, it's kind of knowing that it's like there comes a time where you may feel like you're kind of, I want to say flogging a dead horse, but it's not so much that. It's more that you've put a lot of energy in. You've put a lot of time and effort into growing what you've grown. And you're still feeling like a little dissatisfied, like there's something more. Like there's something else. And there's something else that if you were honest, like it's in there. If you're honest with yourself, it's what you want, like you know what you want underneath all of the bullshit and the how and the can't and the but what ifs and all that bullshit, right? Which is, we're in the coven, we're going to go poof and get rid of all that shit. Well, that's for sure. But it's this idea of this long-term relationship that you're in with your business. What phase of that relationship are you currently in, and how are you approaching that? And are you really allowing yourself to be honest and in acceptance of where you are versus where you want to be? And then this bit here, this closing the gap, that's the work. It's not, oh, okay, so I need a new strategy. Or, okay, so I need to like go over here and have more Facebook ads, or I need to create a brand new offering. Or it's like, no. If this is what you're currently allowing yourself to believe is possible, and this is what you know is possible, it's like insert business coven here, right? It's about alignment. It's about truth and honesty and allowing yourselves to be open and vulnerable enough to actually speak your desires out loud in front of, it's going to be an intimate group. This is not a massive group program. This is an intimate, high-touch fucking mastermind. This is the real fucking deal, the business coven. So you are going to get this incredible tight-knit community of fucking badass boss bitches. I like to think of it as like a little girl gang. We're like, yeah! More like The Craft, Like We Are the Weirdos, mister, that kind of vibe. And it's really not about working harder in your business. It's about taking full stock of where you are right now, where you've been, everything you've been through, honouring all of it, whilst holding the vision and the frequency of what am I aligning with now? And letting that be what you cultivate, letting that be what is the leading energy and what is guiding you forward. So there we go. That is what I have to say today. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you are interested in the business coven, who fucking couldn't be? It's going to be magical. If you are one of those people who knows that this is for you, if you have questions about it, drop me a message. The slides with all of the information are currently active on my Instagram stories. So if you have questions about when it starts, how it's structured, the pricing, the payment plan options, all that stuff, that's all there. And if you have questions above and beyond that, please message. Let's have a conversation, right? I'm not some cold-hearted bitch who's going to be like, if you don't already know if you want to invest, then that's on you, baby. Like, it's cool. Sometimes we have questions, like that's okay. If you